Good morning, everyone. Rob Bonta, California Attorney General. Thank you for joining today. I'm here to formally announce that the California Department of Justice, led by our Civil Rights Enforcement Section, has launched an independent investigation into the emergency response to the Eaton fire and the disproportionately devastating impact it had on the historically Black neighborhood of West Altadena. As many remember all too well, the Eaton fire burned more than 14,000 acres in January 2025. At least 19 people were killed, including 18 who were residents of West Altadena. So all but one who died, tragically, were residents of West Altadena. More than 9,000 buildings were destroyed, and nearly 6 in 10 Black-owned homes were damaged. It was one of the most destructive and deadliest fires in the history of California. First and foremost, my heart and deepest condolences go out to all who lost loved ones, who lost homes or businesses during the fire. The grief, the trauma they've experienced is unimaginable, unfathomable, and no amount of rebuilding can return all that they've lost. I also want to commend the community members of West Altadena who've spoken up in the wake of an unbelievably devastating experience, who've turned their pain into purpose. It's not an easy thing to do, and I have deep respect and appreciation for your resilience, your strength, and your courage. The investigation we've launched is driven by one overarching question. Did the Los Angeles County Fire Department's delay in notifying and evacuating the historically Black West Altadena community during the Eaton fire violate state anti-discrimination and disability rights laws? Meaning, did unlawful race, disability, or age-based discrimination in the emergency response result in a delayed evacuation notification that disproportionately impacted West Altadena residents? That's the question. We don't know the answer. We don't know what this investigation will turn up, which is the whole point: to pursue the facts, uncover, reveal the facts, and to follow the facts. We're also not starting from a blank slate here. There are concerning circumstances surrounding the Eaton fire that have raised questions, making this investigation necessary. The biggest of which is that there was indisputably a delayed emergency notification and evacuation of West Altadena. We're here to ask why. While there are other ongoing investigations into the fire, ours stands apart in that it will answer legal questions that fall under DOJ's purview, including if there was disparate impact based on race. Questions best investigated and answered by our office. While our investigation will likely incorporate information revealed in the other investigations, each are unique in scope and necessary to discover the truth of what happened 1 year ago. It's my hope and my expectation that all public institutions and officials we reach out to over the course of our investigation will voluntarily comply and share the information that we seek. We also intend to include input and firsthand accounts from the community. Good government is built on transparency and accountability, on trust. We should never be afraid to ask hard questions, to look behind the curtain at process and systems that we often take for granted, to understand what really took place, to evaluate if the processes and systems are failing certain communities, to make sure no rights were violated, no laws broken, and to take action if they were. The public, the families forever changed because of the Eaton fire, deserve nothing less than our full commitment to finding and sharing the truth. They deserve to trust the public institutions that are here to serve them, trust that we'll show up, ask questions without prejudgment, and find answers based on facts and based on evidence. That's what we aim to do with this investigation. Finally, I want to again thank the members of DOJ's Civil Rights Enforcement Section, my CRESS team, for leading this investigation. I know they'll do so with the diligence, the thoroughness, and the commitment to transparency and to objectivity that those impacted deserve. I also want to say thank you to all of my partners in public office who have been fighting for this community since the devastating fires, helping the community on the long road to healing and recovery. And I want to say a special shout out to California State Senator Sasha Renee Perez, who I have been in contact with multiple times over the last weeks and months about this very issue. I know how deeply she cares about the community of Altadena, generally, West Altadena specifically, and I appreciate her leadership, her friendship, and her partnership. Before I turn it over to questions, please note that now that this is an active investigation, there's no further information about the process and next steps that I can share at this time, but I am happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you for joining today. With that, I'll open it up to questions.